Right, hello everyone and welcome to the 2022 Festival of Learning Awards. My name's Stephen Evans and I'm the Chief Executive of the Learning and Work Institute. Now we've been doing these awards for 30 years now, this is our 30th year, but for fairly obvious reasons this is the first time we've been able to hold them in person for 3 years. So I'm hoping that you're all enjoying being back in person celebrating again. There you go. I was worried all the cakes had kicked in there and I was going to have to kick up the enthusiasm. Now, as well as everyone in the room today, we are also live streaming the awards via YouTube. So hello to everybody who's watching us on YouTube. So it's great that we can get people here and we can do it via YouTube as well. This does bring for me the double jeopardy of being quite nervous that I'm speaking now to the largest crowd I've seen in 3 years, and also I do feel like I'm at risk of still accidentally leaving myself on mute. So you kind of, I think the technical team will save me from that. Now, there's a lot going on in the world right now. In fact, since I started the job that I'm in, there's been 3 general elections, 2 referendums, a war in Europe, and a global pandemic. And I should say, my chair is sat in the front row. I should say, I'm not saying those are my fault, only some of them. But throughout all of that that's been going on, lifelong learning has been a real boost for so many people, and we're going to hear about some of those today. It's helped people to adapt to change, to improve health and well-being, to build a new life in a new country, to make new friends, and to do so much more than that as well. But of course, I think we all know that learning is about more than those specific benefits that it brings to each of us. Socrates said that education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. I'd like to thank Google for that quote, but it's definitely true, I've checked. So education really is about sparking that flame that's inside all of us. And it's never too late to learn as well. So I've got one more quote for you, then I promise no more quotes. So the quote is, "Today is never too late to be brand new." I don't know how many, that one's Taylor Swift. I don't know if there's, if I'm honest, that's more my level than Socrates, but didn't need Google for that one. So today is really a celebration of all of our winners who embody all the ways that learning can make a difference to us in our lives. But as well as celebrating all the achievements of everyone in this room, we want your stories to help inspire even more adults to get into lifelong learning, given how important it is for so many things in life and in work. Because after a decade of cuts, adult education funding is rising again, but will still be about £1 billion lower in England in 2025 compared to 2010. The need is up, but the funding is down. And those with the highest need often have the lowest participation in learning. So there's much, much more for us to do. So today is about all of the amazing winners we've got in this room, but it's also about all of those adults who are not in our classrooms, our colleges, our community education and our other provision, and how together we can start to make a change one person at a time. Now, before we move on to the awards themselves, just 3 more quick things from me. So firstly, a huge thanks to our partners, without whom there wouldn't be a Festival of Learning. So to the Department for Education, to NOCN, to the Skills and Education Group, the Education and Training Foundation, and our hosts here this afternoon, City Lit, a huge thank you from me and everyone at the Learning and Work Institute for your support. Secondly, I'm not expecting applause for this bit, but please keep your phones on silent. I thought someone would ironically applaud that, but so please keep your phones on silent. Thank you. Making a list here. So yeah, phones on silent if you could please. There are no fire alarms planned this afternoon. If one does go off, then please follow the green fire exit signs that you can see to my left and right there. That doesn't apply to those of you at home. You'll have to find your own exits, I'm afraid. But please follow those green exits if the fire alarm does go off. And lastly, for those of you that are on Twitter, please do tweet away using the hashtag FOL Awards. We want to make sure that we're trending before the end of this ceremony. Right, that is definitely more than enough from me, and it's time to get on with the awards ceremony itself. So are you all ready to hear about our amazing, inspiring award winners? Yes. Excellent. Right, so the first award is our Patrons Award, and this is personally selected by the patron of the Learning and Work Institute, Her Royal Highness Princess Anne. Now, sadly, Her Royal Highness isn't able to be here today, although she does send her congratulations to our winner. And so to present the award on her behalf, I'd like you to welcome to the stage the Learning and Work Institute's Chair, Maggie Galliers.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can I just endorse what Stephen said about how wonderful it is to be here in person and online to celebrate all the wonderful achievements we'll hear about this afternoon. And we are delighted that each year our patron, Her Highness the Princess Royal, personally selects a Festival of Learning Award winner. This is usually an individual learner whose story has elements in it in which Her Royal Highness is particularly interested. The Princess Royal, as you know, is a remarkable champion of a wide range of charitable causes, and we remain honoured to have her so closely associated with our work. And this year's Patrons Award winner is someone who, when you hear her story, you will understand couldn't be more deserving of this award. Misha Coleman-Jones's story is one that should inspire us all. Misha had a challenging experience in school and college, and things began to turn round for Misha when she found her love of learning as an adult and a passion to become a teacher. Since then, she has flown through numerous courses in education and special needs, including several focusing on autism. Misha had a difficult home life, which, combined with undiagnosed autism, meant her experience of education as a young person was far from positive. Her home caught fire, her relationship with her mum fell apart, and her stepdad, her closest family member, sadly passed away. Misha had no real idea what to do next, but she knew that she could use learning to improve her situation, and she returned to learning as an adult. Having decided to try out teaching, her first placement as a supply teacher in a special needs school showed her the tangible difference that learning can make. From that point on, Misha knew this was the career path for her, and it is one in which she has excelled, becoming both an assistant head teacher and head of autism research and development. Having continued to learn throughout her career, she is now enrolled on a Master's in Educational Inquiry and Professional Learning. And when I was talking to her earlier, she tells me that she's just got the dissertation to go, and then she can finally put her books aside and get on with other parts of her learning journey. Misha's story shows a love of learning and a passion to raise aspirations for all people who are facing barriers to learning and employment. I'm thrilled to be here to present this award on behalf of our distinguished patron, and I have a few words from Her Royal Highness to share with you all. Misha is a remarkable young woman who, despite experiencing disruption to both her education and home life from a young age, persevered and went on to excel in both further education and employment. Her story of determination and passion reflects the very ethos of the Festival of Learning. Lifelong learning is exactly that, lifelong. It is never too late and, of course, never too early to start. Misha's incredible story will, I hope, help to inspire the next cohort of adult learners. Congratulations again from Her Royal Highness, the Princess Royal. Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to welcome our 2022 Patrons Award winner, Misha Coleman-Jones, to the stage. So, Misha, I think I've had a sneak preview of your answer to this question because we were having a chat earlier on. So I've got no fears in asking you, what's the next step on your learning journey?
You've got no fears, and I've got a fear of dropping this glass award.
Right.
Obviously, the first thing that I want to do is complete my master's degree. It's really hard imagining the next step when you're faced with your dissertation. And I keep catching myself thinking, why do I keep voluntarily signing up for extra workloads and deadlines and hard word counts? But I'm glad that I have, because actually carrying on with learning keeps fueling my ambition to open up a school which I hope inspires lifelong learning for its entire community, one that really influences positive change in education so that no one is actually left behind. So I do hope it helps many other people, and I'm really grateful to be here today too.
Thank you, Misha. It's no surprise to me that Her Royal Highness picked you out personally as her winner. Thank you.
Huge congratulations to Misha, both on her achievements and also, as she was saying there, also inspiring lots of other people into learning as well. And a big thank you to Maggie, both for presenting that award and also for not getting too into character as Princess Anne and demanding that I curtsy whenever she came into the room. Not every time. So we now got two awards for the price of one. So we've got two awards together now. And these are the Learning for Work and the Employer Awards. And these are sponsored by NOCN, and we're very grateful for their support, both for the Festival of Learning and for the Learning and Work Institute more generally. And so to present those two awards, I'm really pleased to welcome Graham Hastings-Evans, who's the Chief Executive of NOCN, as well as, or before being Chief Executive of the NOCN, Graham's worked on building and construction, also the skills strategy for the London 2012 Olympics, Programme Director at the UK Commission for Employment and Skills, and lots of other really outstanding roles and contribution to the world of lifelong learning as well. So, Graham, we're very grateful for your support here at the Festival of Learning and Learning and Work Institute, and welcome up to the stage to present your two awards.
Thanks very much, Steve. It's great to be back in person, isn't it? Yeah, for everybody. We've done the last few on Teams or in virtual, and it's not been so brilliant, but I think this is great to see everybody back here today. NOCN is an awarding organisation, EPAO and a smart card, and we set up 35 years ago. In November, the decision was made to set up NOCN, and that was all about helping people to get into employment. It was all about adult learning and helping people further their career. So it's in our DNA, and we're delighted to be able to support these awards this year, as we have for a number of years, and we will continue, I'm sure, for many, many more years to come. We live in difficult times. We've got high inflation, a lot of concerns about what's going to happen in the economy next year, drop in real funding for training, and a drop in the funding that employers are putting into training. So I think it's really particularly important from our perspective that we are able to support these two particular awards that are about somebody getting into employment, learning for work and developing themselves from quite a difficult position, and an employer that's been helping their employees and people come into employment within their company. I think we need to celebrate these types of stories, even in these tricky times, because we're going to have to keep on training people. We're going to have to keep on upskilling people, and lifelong learning has never, ever been so more important in the changing digitised world and the greening of all the skills that are to come. So I'm absolutely delighted to be here. I was one of the judging panel. It's always very, very hard every year. You want to award it to everybody, but I think we've got two excellent winners here today. I'm going to start with the Learning for Work one. Do you want me to announce? Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, you got the certificate. Yeah. So, would Emma Smith please come forward?
Before I came to work for Action Towards Inclusion, I was with Horizons and I was addicted to alcohol all my adult life. I was referred from North Yorkshire Horizons, which is drugs and alcohol. I was in the aftercare team and they referred me, asked me if I'd be interested, and I said yeah. I came onto the ATI project and I didn't really know where I was going. I definitely needed something to focus on to get over my addictions, because if I'd have just carried on doing what I was doing without any structure or routine, then it would be easy to slip back into it.
Action Towards Inclusion are part of Humankind, and our project helps people identify the barriers that people are facing into accessing employment, education and training. Emma came onto the project as a participant. She'd always had aspirations to help people but didn't know where to turn. Emma completed 10 courses with us, and as she completed the courses, her aspirations grew. She asked if there was any volunteering opportunities within our team. That's when she started leading a group of participants to the wellbeing session. Now she's a member of our team.
You spend a lot of time in addiction and it takes everything from you. It makes you feel like you're not good enough. I just wanted to better myself, for my kids, for myself. I was going back to learn something to progress with getting a career. I was excited and nervous, but I was definitely ready for it, definitely ready for a new challenge. I've done a drugs and alcohol awareness course, and I did a beginner's course for counselling. I did a volunteers course, and I'm just about to start my information, advice and guidance. I did some volunteering here for Humankind, and a job role came up. I applied for the job and I got it.
Emma now has a fulfilling career. She's helping others learn. She's helping identify barriers. She's an inspiration to those people that are still in addiction to know that it can work.
If you get the opportunity, take it. Getting into learning or training, things like that at any age, you just believe in yourself and get yourself out there and do it. You don't know until you start. I'm going somewhere. This is just the beginning.
Here you are, Emma. We've got a question for you. What would you say to somebody who needs to return to learning in order to pursue their dream career?
Just do it. Just believe in yourself, and if you can't believe in yourself, then pretend you believe in yourself.
Well done. No photograph. Yeah. The next award is the Employer Award. and that goes to FD Works. I'd hope if you just stay there, we'll watch the film and then you can come down onto the stage then. So we've got the film next.
FD Works was established 10 years ago. We're based just outside of Bristol in Wick on Greenway Farm. We've got a team of 16 at the moment. Half of those are apprentices, half of them are women, which is pretty substantial in the finance industry. Some of them have come into FD Works straight from school after A-levels, others have joined after a little bit of experience in industry. We have finance apprentices that usually start on level 2 or 3, depending on their experience. These are with AAT, and we work with First Intuition to provide those apprenticeships. From there, they can move on to level 4 if they choose to. FD Works wouldn't be where it is today without the investment that we've put into learning. Because we're a small business, everyone's got the opportunity to get involved in whatever side of the business they want to.
I've been working at FD Works since 2015. I came fresh from A-levels and joined into an apprentice position, and then gradually have touched all sorts of different areas since. One thing that I found very different about FD Works and all other employers out there is the commitment to the people within it. Everybody's continuously learning, even from the person who comes in day one up to if you've been here for 10 years. There's the same commitment to learning that you see through everybody, which is amazing.
Before I came to FD Works, I had already started my level 2. So I was learning things and not necessarily putting it into practice. And being at FD Works and having the support of college beside me, I have been able to expand on those skills massively.
When you join, there is some direction laid out for you, but you're very encouraged to drive your own path. We make sure that everybody gets the learning that they want, and we're never turning away people for more learning and training that they want to do, however formal or informal. The impact of learning and the open learning opportunities that we've got available at FD Works has been incredible to see among the individuals within the team. We've got a staff retention rate of 96%, and the business has grown 25% over the last 12 months. So that's substantial growth with very minimal attrition, which is fantastic to see. At FD Works, we want people to stay with us, grow with us, learn with us. It's our ambition to never have anybody leave due to a lack of progression or opportunities. Learning isn't always linear, and life doesn't happen in a straight line most of the time. So being able to constantly learn, reassess and make sure that everybody is on the right path for them has allowed us to grow in a way that means that our staff retention is fantastic and our business development is just continuous.
I can invite the representatives of FD Works to the stage, please. Who's going to hold it? The others coming. No, you're the only one brave enough. That's because they don't answer questions. How important is investment in learning and development to the success of your business?
So, I mean, there's no way we'd be where we are now without the investment we've made, but the growth that we've got planned is super exciting. And the only way that we can do that is because we're so openly investing in people. It's not just, you know, apprenticeships and things like that, but we, you know, on the way down here, we were talking about mental health first aid training, and having that open investment means that people can come to us with their own ideas rather than just doing the path that's always been done. So it means that we have way more opportunities for growth, so many exciting new prospects on the horizon, and I think that's because of our open investment in learning, basically.
Well done, and a great winner.
Thank you so much.
Photograph.
Great. Thank you to Graham, and huge congratulations to Emma and to FD Works as well. I think fake it till you make it is about the best advice you can get, really, isn't it? It's kind of... I'll resist the urge at that stage to make a joke about the government, because I've just remembered this is being recorded. It's career limiting. Anyway, good advice is my point. So we've heard 2 awards there about the benefits of learning for work. Next, we're going to talk about the benefits of learning for health. And I know that through the pandemic, lifelong learning has been a lifeline for many, and we've known for a long time how many benefits that learning can have for your health and well-being, and we see that increasingly in the health service with things like social prescribing, helping people to access learning where that will be a benefit to them depending on what their condition is, for example. So I know we're here in London, and we've done a lot of work with the Greater London Authority on that, for example. So that's what this award's all about, and I'm delighted that to present it, we have Deepa Ganguly, who is the Principal of Sutton College and a board member for HOLEX. And Deepa has kind of done lots of amazing roles, including Assistant Principal at Westminster Adult Education Service before joining Sutton College as Principal in January 2018. And in 2021, she was awarded an OBE for services to adult education. So please welcome Deepa.
Good afternoon. I'm absolutely delighted to be here amongst all of you, and what inspirational stories. So I haven't got a video here, so I've been given a script to read about the winner. So the Learning for Health Award is open to individual learners, tutors, projects and employers who can demonstrate the transformational power of learning in relation to health. For individuals, we're looking for people whose learning has led to significant health-related impacts, whether that be physical or mental, for themselves, their family, or their community. This year's award goes to the incredible Joanne Sanderson. Joanne didn't enjoy school, learning to read at a later age than her peers, and facing additional challenges in her home life. Years later, after being diagnosed with terminal cancer, she enrolled on a course to understand how she could help her family cope with her diagnosis, and her perception of learning changed completely. Jo's life turned upside down when she was diagnosed with terminal cancer in 2021. To show her children that she wasn't giving up, she enrolled on her first course, Managing Worries Positively. Since then, she has completed other courses to improve both her own and her family's well-being, including courses in reading, phonics, and science to help better support her children's learning too. Joanne's attitude towards learning has radically transformed since her school days. As well as boosting her confidence, it has given her something to focus on other than her diagnosis. Learning has also helped Joanne think of fun and exciting ways to help her children learn too, bringing them closer as a family. Joanne's achievement and attitude to learning are inspirational. We would like to congratulate Joanne on her incredible journey, and we know she will be a shining example of how to build confidence. Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to invite on stage this year's Learning for Health Award winner, Joanne Sanderson. I've got a question here for you, yes. Joanne. Yeah. Go do that. What has your learning journey taught you about yourself?
That you can do anything, regardless of how things are, how bad things get, and using learning helps you get through things. It gives you something to look forward to and build on, and it's always good to just keep going.
Keep going. Keep going. We've had it here. Well done. Many congratulations.
Great. Thank you so much, Deepa. And if you're wondering, you can't see this on the live stream, but if you're wondering where everyone gets filtered off afterwards, don't worry. They are coming back. They have to get their photograph taken somewhere else as well. Yeah, don't panic. Right, so unbelievably, we're now 4 awards in. So we've had some amazing inspirational stories, but there's plenty more to come as well. This award ceremony is always an absolute highlight of the year for all of us at the Learning and Work Institute. So, in fact, it's so important that I've worn a tie, which is kind of unheard of. I think in the sort of the sort of working from home days, I think putting your shoes on is a bit of a stretch. But I put a tie on today, even is that important. But it's amazing to hear all of these stories, and this reminds, I think, everybody working in the learning and skills sector why we do what we do. And the next award winner is no different. Now, most great learning experiences are often the result or the product or contributed to by great and inspiring tutors. And so we're really pleased that the Education and Training Foundation sponsor our Tutor Award. And to introduce the winner of that, please welcome to the stage the Interim Chief Executive of the ETF, Jenny Jarvis.
Thank you, Stephen, and thank you for inviting us here. It's really important work that the Learning and Work Institute continues to play in our industry and the key role that you have. Friends and colleagues and fellow champions of education, I'm really delighted that ETF can be here to support this award today. The centrality of adult learning today cannot be overstated. The use of artificial intelligence, virtual and augmented reality, big data and robotics are rapidly changing almost every part of the economy. Whilst this progress will likely lead to improved productivity and outcomes for consumers, it is shifting the nature of certain jobs and indeed replacing them in some cases. A fantastic adult learning system has the potential to help those impacted by these changes to develop their skills, retrain into new careers and build their employment prospects. At the Education and Training Foundation, we strongly advocate the importance of lifelong learning and the vital role tutors play in this agenda. We're delighted to continue our collaboration with the Festival of Learning through our sponsorship of the Tutor of the Year Award. Last year's winner, Jose Aguirre, a teacher at Pentonville Prison, was described by a colleague as a one-man learning campus. This year's winner is equally deserving. She began working in the NHS as a domestic role over 20 years ago, became an adult learner and started night classes to become a teacher in adult education. Today, she works in a secure care setting, supporting individuals with learning disabilities, mental health illnesses, and those with personality disorders. Her personal commitment to learning can be seen from the fact that she has just completed the Society for Education and Training's Advanced Teacher Status Programme. That's no mean feat. She's been described by colleagues as being so supportive of her students and always going the extra mile. One student said she has changed her opinion about learning and education as a consequence. I'm really pleased to now show you a film of this year's richly deserved winner, Helen Sonnenfeld of Cumbria, Northumberland, Tyne and Wear NHS Foundation Trust.
I've worked for the NHS around about 20 years. Through being an adult learner myself and going to night classes, I started teaching in adult education. I work as part of the MDT team to try and help improve skills. We work with people who have a learning disability, people who have a mental health illness and people who have a personality disorder. We cover quite a broad spectrum. We teach entry-level English up to level 2. I also teach IT. I have done other qualifications as well, peer support, volunteering, employability, and I've also just completed an accredited bespoke unit in self-advocacy.
We have people with autism, people with learning disabilities, people with mental illness. Helen's always able to look at those barriers to understand and come up with very innovative, clever ways of being able to make sure that the student achieves what it is that they need to achieve. The patients aren't just learning maths and English, but also doing digital skills and recovery-based courses so that when they do move out of secure care, their quality of life is going to be improved.
A lot of the individuals that we work with have got a need and a want to be able to develop themselves, and that independence often comes with a need to be able to read and write effectively. How Helen is able to nurture them in that adulthood and develop that level of skill that benefits them throughout all of their life.
Helen's teachings made a difference to me. It just changed my opinion about learning and education. That's something that I didn't really think about for myself in the first place, but when the opportunity was there, it makes us want to learn more and find out what I can learn and what my capabilities are.
As a teacher, you never finish learning. We have to keep up to date and make sure that we're doing the best we can for our learners and giving them the skills that they need when they leave. Because we work for the NHS, we're not really backed up by a big college or a training provider, so CPD is usually organised by me for my team. Every day we try and make time to make sure that our skills are up to date. I like being able to help people to get something that they want to achieve, so I like to see those steps in the progress that they make. It doesn't have to be the all singing, all dancing qualification, it can just be a step towards their goal. It's a really rewarding job, but it's really nice when you find somebody who achieves something for the first time. They might never have come to education, or they might never have sat in a room even for an hour. So just actually having time with that person and giving them the space and comfort to do something that's not on a clinical setting and is away from the ward is a really nice feeling.
Please join me in welcoming Helen to the stage.
Right, so we are now, believe it or not, halfway through the awards this afternoon. So we get several hundred nominations every year for these awards. And I said earlier that the awards are one of the highlights of the year for everyone at the Learning and Work Institute, but it's also a bit of a nightmare for the selection panel to try and whittle it down to a small number of winners. There are so many amazing nominations in there, and that's really a good microcosm showing the power and strength of lifelong learning across the country, and how many amazing transformative stories and people and experiences and employers and tutors and provision that there are. So this year, the national selection panel that chooses all of the winners identified 5 people who they wanted to recognise as finalists. And they thought they were particularly outstanding, and so it was kind of right to recognise them as finalists. So I'm going to give you just a little bit of information about each of those 5, and then we're going to welcome people up to the stage to receive a certificate. So the first finalist is Gary King. Now, he lost his position as a bar manager in the spring 2020 lockdown, and subsequently lost his home. So he realised that he needed to change his career. He wanted to change his career and help to provide for his 3-month-old daughter as well. So he enrolled on an adult learning course focused on construction at Bolton College. And he's gone on to strength ever since, achieving a Level 2 diploma in carpentry and joinery, and is now employed as a technician at the college. So a really brilliant example of getting into something new and changing career and excelling at that. So please give Gary a round of applause. Our second finalist is Mavis Sitande, who worked as an IT tutor in Zimbabwe, moved to the UK and discovered a passion for accounting. She volunteered for a number of accounting roles and went into study accounting, all at the same time as working full-time as a cleaner at the University of Bolton. So through amazing hard work and dedication and commitment and talent, she's now won a full-time role in the Exchequers team at the University of Bolton. So a truly outstanding story of pursuing those dreams and ambitions. So please give Mavis a huge round of applause. Thirdly, we have Jessica Waldron, who's completed her BICS cleaning qualifications at the Cleaning Academy in HMP Bronzefield, and has gone on from strength to strength thereafter, completing lots of other courses around alcohol awareness, heroin awareness, and is still going on to learn lots more things as well, including training to be a listener and coaching at Brentford Football Club, who did pretty well last year. So I don't know if she can take the credit for that, but I think she probably should. So please give Jessica a round of applause. The fourth finalist is Starting Point, and they provide lots of learning and development opportunities for their staff as an employer, and trying to improve confidence, team cohesion, individual performance, and also a real community-centred approach as well. It's not just about the employer, it's about the wider community, and staff are encouraged to participate and share experiences and work together in teams as well. So a really great example of how learning is embedded throughout Starting Point as an employer. So please give them a round of applause. And last but not least, Sebri Severim, who he and his partner moved to the UK in 2019. He wasted no time and got enrolled in an Entry 1 English for Speakers of Other Languages course, has gone on to continue to improve his language, and described how that's really benefited so many different areas of his life. And he's now gone on to gain British citizenship, along with him and his partner, moved into work, made new friends, and improved his mental health as well. So a huge congratulations to Sebri. Now, in true award ceremony style, not all of our winners can be here tonight. So could you please welcome to the stage, we've got a representative from Starting Point, we've got Jessica Waldron's nominator, Lindsay Reid, and we've got Mavis Satande as well. Please welcome them all to the stage, please. So congratulations to all of those finalists, and I can only apologise that you drew the short straw and had to have your photograph taken with me, as opposed to the much better award givers that we've got in the rest of the award ceremony. Speaking of which, actually, so the next award is the Return to Learning Award, and I think most of us know how difficult it can be to take those first steps back into learning, whether you've done really well at school, however many years ago it was, or whether you haven't at all. It's a real sort of brave thing to take that first steps back into learning. And this award is all about that, and people going back into learning and taking a new direction. So it's exactly what the Festival of Learning is about. And we're really pleased that City Lit is the sponsor of this award and our host here today, and a huge thanks to City Lit for this amazing room and all the artwork outside and all the cakes and things that everyone's had, and apologies to those of you at home who've had to provide your own cakes, but a huge thanks to City Lit for their support for the Festival of Learning. And so to present the Festival of Learning Award, really pleased that we have Mark Malcolmson, who's the Principal and Chief Executive of City Lit, having previously been Director of Executive Education at the London Business School, and before that, President of the New York Institute of Finance. So, Mark, huge thanks to you for City Lit's support, and I'd like to welcome you up to present the Return to Learning Award.
I've got two grudges against Stephen. First of all, he made the point about wearing a tie, which I didn't get the memo about. And secondly, he's stolen half of my speech about the importance of returning to learning. But welcome, everybody. I am delighted, genuinely delighted on behalf of our college to be able to host these awards. They're hugely important for not only adult education, but the community nationally. It's great to be able to celebrate people making a huge effort with their learning at whatever point in their life they are at. City Lit's been going over 100 years. We pride ourselves in taking students from 19 to those that go into their 90s. And as a result, returning to learning is exactly what we are about. And as Stephen said, it's not always easy. And it can be not easy because learning wasn't an enjoyable thing to start off with, or you didn't do so well. Or it might be it was enjoyable, but it feels like I was done with it. And then maybe 10, 20, 30 years later, I feel my time is there again. And I might be nervous, I might be reticent about it, but kind of making that step is hugely important. And for me, in a way, and I've said this before about this award, I would actually like it to be in a world where this award is irrelevant, because nobody ever stops their learning. So the idea to return to learning implies that you've left it. And in a perfect world, in an idealistic world, I would love it that we never actually had that to happen. But we all drift away, we all have different parts of our lives that happen in different times, and we do what we do when it's appropriate to do it. And so coming back to learning at any stage in your life, whether it's a year's break after you've finished school, college, university, or whether it's a decade's break, and then some of our learners have returned in their 80s, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that you've made that journey and you've actually decided to come back and involve yourself in learning to improve your life and invariably improve the lives of those around you. So we're delighted to sponsor this award. We're delighted to be a partner here with Learning Work Institute. And what I'd like to do is show you the video of a truly amazing woman, Joanne Matthews, before she comes up, but a little bit about what returning to learning is all about.
I had a rough time at school. I was bullied a lot. I came to Hillingdon to go back into education to help me get a job. Instead of me sitting at home doing nothing, I want to do something, and I've enjoyed it so far. I recently just passed my level 1 IT. And also I passed my health and social level 1. I'm doing the level 2 in September, and also I'm doing a mentoring course. I'm working in mental health now as well, and I'm doing courses to get myself a bit higher up in my work and being who I want to be.
Joanne decided to return to learning because she wanted to improve her life chances. Obviously, Joanne's life is unique and she's come across all sorts of challenges and problems in her life. And yet, in some ways, she's very typical of many of the people that we get through the doors. I think the biggest challenge Joanne faces returning to learning and building up her career has been her mental health struggles. Because of her own experiences with her mental health struggles, she wanted to give something back to people that might be feeling the same way. She's found the route she wants to take, she knows the sector she wants to work in, and she's working towards it single-mindedly.
I was a different person before I had my gender change. I would say 5 years ago I wouldn't be doing this because I wasn't confident in myself, but I'm getting there slowly but surely. The courses are helping me get more confident, and that helped me get going to a voluntary job and where I work. I was nervous coming back into learning because I didn't have very good experience at school. My confidence has grown with all the courses I'm doing, and of course what I've learned, and I've learned about myself and learned about other people as well from different parts of the world. And I think that's important for my career to go further and further.
Joanne, tell us, in terms of your learning journey, how you think you've grown and changed as a person.
I think I've just changed with a lot of things, with my health and what you can do and what you can do.
Brilliant. And are you happier and more fulfilled?
I'm more happier now, yeah, yes.
Excellent.
What I've achieved from school, I didn't like school much, but adult learning I'm enjoying.
Fabulous, and well done, a tremendously well-earned award. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mark. And I feel like by way of apology for nicking the first part of your speech, I should say that City Lit is an institution that really embodies the very best in adult learning and lifelong learning. For more than 100 years, as Mark said, it's been here for people to do all kinds of things for all kinds of reasons, and it's a really inspirational place to be and to hold this event. It couldn't be a more fitting place, really. So a huge thanks to Mark and to all of the team at City Lit for everything that they do and for hosting us here today. Now, the next award is the Learning Provision Awards. This is about different projects or programmes that find different ways to get people, get adults into learning. And so to present this award, I'm really pleased to introduce Naomi Phillips, who is the Learning and Work Institute's Deputy Chief Executive and Director of Policy and Research. And she joined us in January. I'm trying to fill this out now where you come slowly down the stairs. Please don't fall over. Please don't fall over. That would be terrible. Joining us in January 2022 from the British Red Cross. So thank you, Naomi.
Thank you. So the Learning Provision Award in the Festival of Learning seeks outstanding examples of provision that have had a transformational impact on learners. And specifically, this includes supporting learners to increase their skills, ability and confidence, including providing routes to employment or other learning opportunities, which may not have previously been possible. We want this award to recognise that learning doesn't just stay in the classroom and recognise incredible provisions that motivate people to take up learning, especially those who may lack the confidence to do so. This year's award winner is Bristol City Council. When the pandemic hit in March 2020, Bristol City Council saw a unique opportunity to join up support services across homelessness, learning, employment, life skills and health support. Rough sleepers in Bristol with complex needs could finally access the specialised and tailored support they needed to gain essential skills and to secure employment. Prior to the pandemic, support available to rough sleepers in Bristol was often disjointed and failed to support people with multiple and complex needs. But when the pandemic broke out and local authorities were tasked with accommodating all rough sleepers, Bristol City Council saw a unique opportunity. They set about creating a holistic, multi-agency project to bring together the range of services and teams which would end up outliving its original mandate. The Move In, Move On, Move Up support for rough sleepers project team developed a new model which blended elements of learning, employability and health support into a person-centred approach. So far, 1/4 of the 130 participants have secured paid work, and over 1/3 are undertaking employability-focused training. The project not only helps people into employment, but helps them to develop skills and consider routes into jobs and careers that they are passionate about. It's been a great success and has gained recognition by government, who are now exploring how it could be replicated in other areas. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to congratulate Bristol City Council for winning the Festival of Learning 2022 Learning Provision Award, and invite their representative up on stage to accept on their behalf. Congratulations. Can I ask you, how important has the partnership working been for the success of this project?
Well, actually, the cross-partnership working has been, the sustainable part of it. Is actually allowed us to all work together, overcome barriers, and get people back into, long work.
That's really, really important multi-agency working. Thank you so much. Congratulations again. Thank you.
Thanks, Naomi, and I think that's a really great example. People like me spend a lot of time banging on about how different public services should probably join up with each other around people rather than asking people to fit around public services. So that's a kind of real-life example of that happening, which I think is a really great example that lots of us and lots of the rest of the world could learn from as well. So it's a really great example. Congratulations. Now, quick reminder to you all, I've been keeping an eye on Twitter, and there have been a fair number of tweets coming forward, but we need some more. We need to kind of push ourselves up that trending list. So please do, if you're on Twitter, in fact, if you're not on Twitter, set up an account now. The Wi-Fi in City Lit is excellent, and if you're struggling, Mark, the principal, is at the front to help with log-ons. So remember to use the hashtag FOL Awards for all our amazing winners. Right. So the next award is the English Language Learning Award. And I said earlier on that one of the benefits of adult learning is about helping people to improve skills that help them in their day-to-day lives, building a whole set of experiences that help you with everything you want to achieve, starting a life in a new country, all of these things and more. And this award is always a great example of so many of those things. So this year's winner is Shamim Hussain, who arrived in the UK in 2004, not speaking a lot of English. His wife had a serious medical injury, and so 10 years after he'd arrived, he took a bit of a leap of faith, as he describes it, to enrol on an English learning programme. And that's really been a transformative thing for him in terms of being able to access public services, help his wife, all of those sorts of things that a lot of us take for granted. But actually, he flagged that this is he's a big example to his community as well. So he notes that in local Bangladeshi communities, it isn't always accepted for men to study English reading and writing. So he's actually become a real role model for his community as well. He started at pre-entry level, moved on to entry level 1, which he passed last year, and he's on entry level 2 at the moment. And he talks about the impacts on health and well-being. That's been a bit of a recurring theme, but also being able to communicate with his daughter's school, for example, and lots of other things as well. And I think lots more men in that community are now enrolling in English classes. So he's a brilliant example of the power of English language learning. Now, sadly, Shamim can't be here today. But I'm really pleased that to accept the award on his behalf is Katie Easy, who's the Director of Education for Community Learning at the WEA. So, Katie, welcome.
Thank you, everyone. I'm really pleased to be able to accept this award on behalf of Shamim. His tutor, Chad, has let me know that he's really delighted with the award and he's really proud of himself. So thank you to the Festival of Learning for making this happen for him. Unfortunately, very recently, Shamim lost his father and the family is rightly taking some time to adjust, hence me representing him today. I'm just going to embellish a little bit on the story Stephen's told so far. So he came to the UK in 2004 and he was working as a restaurant worker in a Bangladeshi restaurant. And in 2016, his wife suffered a major car accident that left her with really severe injuries and incapable of looking after their baby daughter, which meant he had to give up work to become a full-time carer. And his daughter, his older daughter, was also finding school life really challenging. And getting the best care from the NHS and the best support from schools was really difficult for him with a language barrier. And so in 2020, he decided he wanted to rely less on other people for his language skills and to look towards the possibility of working when his daughter was older. And that he wanted to move into permanent rather than temporary accommodation. So his language skills were his biggest barrier, and he felt that he really demanded of him to address that challenge. So he started studying with us in 2020, and as Stephen has said, he's progressed from entry 1, and he's currently working at entry 2 level. And he talks about no longer being stressed about relying on other people to translate for him. And it's a huge relief to be able to communicate with my daughter's school and to be able to help my children. And the fact that he's broken barriers in his community. More men are now enrolling in English classes, and women who were initially unsure about having a man in the class are now a really great support. So it's really built some community cohesion. So in just 1 year, he's come a huge journey in his English. And it's been wonderful to see his confidence grow as he's been able to support his family and to make new friends through the group while inspiring other members of his community to follow in his footsteps. And I think the WEA and all the other organisations that are represented here, we need that education to help people start on their career goals, to raise aspiration and to enable people to be integrated within their communities. And ultimately to help people to become confident and independent and empowered. And that's what makes people at the WEA tick, that's what makes you tick, that's why we do what we do. So thank you to the Festival of Learning for highlighting how important adult learning is. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. And I think so far we've had 8 amazing award winners. I'm sure you're all feeling very inspired. I can just about, it's very bright up here, I could just about see some of you. I'm assuming you're all looking inspired. We've got 3 to go, and they're 3 more inspirational winners as well. You'll be unsurprised, I suspect, to hear. So for many people, for many of us, learning is about making a change or doing something different, and it's part of that journey. It's that first step on that journey. And that's what the New Directions Award is all about. And this award is sponsored by the Skills in Education Group, and we're very grateful for their support for this award and for all the amazing work that they do more generally for lifelong learning and social justice and social mobility as well. And so to introduce this award winner, I'm pleased to welcome Julie Knowles, who's the Head of Access for HE at the Skills in Education Group. Julie.
Hello everyone, I'm delighted to be here to represent Paul Eales, who's the Chief Executive at the Skills in Education Group. He can't be here unfortunately, but he has recorded a special message to introduce this year's New Direction Award winner.
Good afternoon. The Festival of Learning Awards are a highlight of the calendar and for many of us each year, and I'm gutted not to be able to be with you today. But I'm really also delighted that the Skills in Education Group is able to sponsor the New Directions Award. We've been involved with this award and the Festival of Learning Awards for a number of years now. The New Directions Award is about championing, recognising people that have been on journeys, people that have found and overcome their own circumstances and move forward positively. Those journeys are never easy. Those journeys are often challenging, and it's very often that we find that there are people that have overcome the most enormous hurdles to get to where they've got to make a success of their new direction. And we want to recognise that, and we want to champion those people. This award is really important to us as a Skills and Education Group. It plays to our mission to champion and to support people to ensure that they are successful. And I'm delighted that we are yet again a sponsor of this award. The New Directions Award this year is the winner, Jo Wyatt, has overcome so many difficult circumstances for her and her family. She is inspirational. Her story of overcoming all sorts of challenges and the way in which she's now paying back to society and actually really supporting her family and moving them forward, giving them aspiration and hope is nothing short of inspirational. So I am delighted to announce that our award winner for the New Directions Award this year is Jo Wyatt. Congratulations, Jo, from all of us at the Skills and Education Group.
Congratulations, Jo. Thank you. I just wonder, how has your learning journey made a difference to your family? I know I met your daughter in reception. It was lovely to talk to you.
Well, I have prepared a little something. So is that okay? I've got my glasses. Okay. So I asked my children this question, my 4 children, and they told me it helped them realise there's nothing wrong with not having it all figured out right away. It's okay to take your time figuring out who you are and what you're passionate about. Your past does not define you. It's never too late to be the person you were always meant to be. Dyslexia is not a disability, it's an ability. Mindset is everything. And when your determination to succeed is unshakable, no odds can stand between you and your success. As when I started this journey 9 years ago now, I had just become a single parent again for the 3rd time. My youngest 2 were 1 and 2, and my daughter Tallulah, who is here with me today, was just starting high school. I had no money, I was on benefits. I didn't know I was dyslexic at the time, and nearly everyone doubted I would make it through college, let alone make it to university. 5 years of full-time study followed, retaken maths and English GCSEs, college, my social work degree, and my psychology masters. Tallulah, who I'm proud to say has just finished her 1st year at university, I'm so proud. She told me last night, as we were talking about today, that before each of her exams that she just went into, she went into each one of them with the same thought, repeating over and over in her mind. Remember whose daughter you are. Remember whose daughter you are. And I don't know, and I can't tell you how much that meant to me, because I didn't know that till last night. For me, my 4 children were and always have been my whys, my reasons why. When I failed, felt overwhelmed, cried with frustration. I remembered them and why I had begun this journey. I wanted my learning journey to show them not to ever give up. Yes, your chosen paths may change. Yes, you will fail. Yes, you will make mistakes. But if you can remain hopeful and you are determined, you are capable of achieving what you and everyone else at one time thought was impossible.
Right, follow that. I mean, that's kind of, I think we should probably just get the text of that and put it on the website. That's kind of, that kind of summarises everything I think all of us are probably trying to say about the power of lifelong learning and education, as well as being an amazing set of achievements from Jo in her own right. So I'm sure you'll agree, a very deserving award winner there. Right, well, I'm going to now try and follow that. So we've just got 2 awards left. Now, this next award is a special award that we've introduced for this year. This is the first time that we've done this. And this is the Special Recognition Award that we are giving to the Ukraine Adult Education Association. Now, you'll hear a bit more about this in a moment, but since the start of the pandemic, as here, adult education providers in Ukraine had to adapt what they were doing and how they were helping people to learn. And then, of course, when Russia invaded in early 2022, that changed everything. And that means changes in the ways that courses are delivered. It also means that lots of adult education providers in Ukraine have supported the efforts of the army there, for example, volunteering, sewing clothes, lots of other, cooking food for displaced people, that sort of thing. And then also offering courses in first aid and tactical medicine, psychological and psychotherapeutic programs, and art therapy classes, as well as things like how to understand disinformation and fake news. So there's been such a shift in what adult education providers in Ukraine have had to do. I think it would have been very easy if there was or very necessary if there's a war on and an invasion to stop all those activities. But the adult educators of Ukraine have continued to help their people and just changed the way that they do that. So I think there could be no more fitting winner of the Festival of Learning Special Recognition Award than the Ukraine Adult Education Association. So please give them a round of applause. Now, to accept that award, I'm really pleased that we have Oleg Smirnov, who is a board member of the European Association for the Education of Adults and a representative of the Ukraine Adult Education Association and the Ukraine country director of the representative office of DVV International. So Oleg is in Ukraine and joins us live from Kyiv. Oleg, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully you can hear us and the link is working okay.
Yeah. Hello, dear organizers and participants. Yeah, it's really a great event. I've been following on YouTube with a lot of brilliant personal stories. And it is a great honor for me to represent adult educators of Ukraine at the event. And I'm very grateful to our British colleagues for this opportunity.
And Oleg, I wonder if you could say a few words about how adult education has responded to the war in Ukraine and how it's making a difference to Ukraine.
You see, on a personal level, the start of full-scale invasion was a real shock. But at the same time, there was understanding that the war has been going on for 8 years already. And many people were prepared psychologically. I remember at the beginning of February, we had a large online conference on intercultural education, where participants from the Western regions offered their help and accommodation for those living near the eastern border. So people were prepared. I believe that strong civil society in Ukraine is one of the achievements of recent decades, achievements of civic education courses, and people turned out to be ready for self-organization. They know how to behave in various practical situations. They use social networks for communication, are ready for volunteering. So people united to protect their communities and cities and supported the army, other people. Among the adult educators are those who were able to quickly identify those needs of different people. And some organizations, as you mentioned already, some of them have launched some additional sewing courses to meet the needs of to sew clothes and first aid kits for defense groups. Others provided short online psychological support courses. There were blocks of first aid skills to help other people affected by artillery or missile strikes. So a lot of people turned out to be ready to provide and to continue their educational activities.
And what does it mean for adult educators and for people in Ukraine that you're able to continue with adult education and that people continue to want to be involved and to learn? What does that mean?
It does mean that you have to be stronger. Yeah? Adult educator has to be stronger than other people around him. Those people who need this help. So it's a kind of very big transformation in a short period of time. And you have to be adapted, and you have to orient and help other people and provide help or provide. And it is difficult for people to understand that they perhaps need some learning at this moment. And this should be very short courses or very short sessions. Now, gradually, the needs of Ukrainians changed, and we have that our adult education service providers, they also are very flexible in offering courses on additional professional skills so that people can find jobs or be self-employed. And the list of these professions which can be skills, competences which can be acquired is rather big, which is proposed by adult educators in the country.
Yeah, I think the way that how you've described how people and adult educators have adapted is really inspirational for everybody. And I wonder if, just lastly, is there anything else that you would like to say to the audience here today, or to the UK in general, I suppose, on behalf of adult educators and providers in Ukraine?
Of course, I want to thank once again, on behalf of all the members of the association, for this opportunity to present shortly our activities and get acquainted with providers and educators in England. And I know that many Ukrainians could personally feel the warm attitude of the British people who offer their support in the form of housing, sponsorship for those who left for the UK. And of course, special thanks to the British government, which significantly supports Ukraine. I hope this is not the last chance we meet, and there will be other possibilities in peaceful times to cooperate, to have exchange in our experience. And I hope that there will be, and I'm sure that there will be thousands of personal successful stories of learners from Ukraine during this period of time to share with other people. Thank you.
Thank you, Oleg. I know that there are many adult education providers in this country who are helping Ukrainians who have come here, as you said, and then also the support the UK government is giving to Ukraine. And the UK will remain a true friend of Ukraine, I'm sure. And I know, well, certainly the Learning and Work Institute, and I think all adult educators in the UK will want to do all that we can to support and help you and all of the people of Ukraine. So thank you for all the work that you and adult educators in Ukraine do. As you say, I hope we will meet in peaceful times as well. But in the meantime, I can't think of a more deserving award for this special recognition award than the adult educators of Ukraine. So please congratulate Oleg and all adult educators.
Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you to Oleg for joining us live from Kyiv there. And as I said, you can't think of a more deserving award in the inspirational work that they're doing in Ukraine in terrible circumstances. Now, that's a very inspirational award. And we're on to our last award now. And this is another really inspirational award as well. The big test for Festival of Learning is whether you can get to the end of the afternoon without crying, I think. So I think I'm struggling. So the good news is I'm not presenting this one. This is the President's Award winner, which is chosen by the Learning and Work Institute's President, Nick Stewart. Now, unfortunately, Nick's not able to be with us today, but to present the award on his behalf, please welcome back Maggie Galley as the Learning and Work Chair.
Good afternoon again. For those of you that weren't quite sure what a chair did, clearly my job is to be both a bookend and the best substitute on the bench. Because as has just been outlined, I'm here on Nick Stewart's behalf, our President, who unfortunately can't be here today with us in person. And I know he's very disappointed about that, because he very much wanted to be at our first live awards ceremony for 3 years. But he does send his good wishes. He got in touch with me only yesterday and especially asked me to congratulate our wonderful award winners. The President's Award recognises learning provision that is exceptional, that breaks new ground, that has sustained against the odds or goes the extra mile. Reading the shortlisted nominations and taking part in the panel discussions to select the winners is always an immensely uplifting and enjoyable task. But it is a difficult one too, since we received so many high-quality entries. This year's award nominations were varied, impressive, and making a real difference to learners' journeys. But for Nick, one stood out in particular. The Liverpool Philharmonic has been working in partnership with the Merseycare NHS Foundation Trust since 2008 to deliver a life-changing music and mental health programme. By encouraging group work and creativity, the programme has helped participants to improve their quality of life, build confidence and create a sense of belonging. Through exploring themes that are important to their learners, such as connections with Liverpool and the link between music and film, they have delivered countless collaborative learning experiences which encourage creativity and positive mental health. Participants use different media, such as music, singing, improvisation, writing and painting. Sharing their work with each other, they gain confidence and experience. Over 91% of our participants on the programmes come away with improved self-esteem, and 86% have seen a positive change in their mood. The project enables participants to develop a new set of skills and the tools for self-expression, with 86% saying the courses have supported their everyday living. They are some really fantastic outcomes. So on behalf of Nick, I want to commend all of the staff members and partners that have worked so hard to share their skills and to make this project the success that it is. They are transforming lives and giving hundreds of people hope and ambition for a brighter future. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's President's Award winner, the music and mental health programme, The Life Rooms. Chance to speak to the project organisers earlier on today, and I'd very much like you to hear in their own words what it is that they think makes their project such a success.
Thank you. Well, firstly, just to say a huge thank you on behalf of Liverpool Philharmonic and Merseycare NHS Foundation Trust for this award. We are so proud of our work and we are hugely grateful to have been recognised in such amazing company. What an inspirational event today has been. Thank you. At the heart of this work, which makes it so unique, is a partnership like no other, a partnership between an arts organisation and an NHS trust that's now been going for 14 years, which has allowed music to become embedded in the mental health services and the recovery for service users in Liverpool and the wider city region. So we are just so proud and we are so grateful, and we'd like to say a huge thank you.
It just keeps getting better and better. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much. That is the end of our awards, I'm afraid to say, but it's a truly amazing and outstanding and inspirational set of award winners there. So can we just give them collectively a huge round of applause? I also want to thank, as I say, we got several hundred nominations for these awards. So thank you to everybody who nominated and was nominated. Those of you who've got the taste for winning awards, nominations for next year open in November. So please do look out for that. And if you're based in London, the Mayor of London's Adult Learning Awards are open now. So there's my two plugs. But just a couple of other thank yous as well. So thank you to our British Sign Language interpreters, Charmaine and Tessa here for interpreting throughout. Thank you to all of the sponsors and supporters of the Festival of Learning, so the Department for Education, NOCN, ETF, the Skills and Education Group and City Lit, in particular for hosting this amazing ceremony as well today. Can I just say, when I close up in a moment or two, you're all going to want to dash off out there to the drinks, which are in the cafe. But if you're an award winner, please hang around because we want to do a group photo. There will be a drink left, I promise. I promise. I better make sure there is now. So if you're an award winner, please wait at the end. Now, it's just I always come away from these award ceremonies having learnt a lot and reflected on a lot and been really inspired so much. So I was just making a quick note of the things that I really take away from today. Now, you're supposed to do these lists in threes or 5s, and I got a bit indecisive, so I've got 4. So apologies for that. So the first thing is, remember that going back into learning as an adult is a really brave thing for people to do, and we should respect that and recognise that, whether we're practitioners, policymakers, commissioners or anybody else, and salute that bravery. The second is that learning can mean loads and loads of different things. It doesn't just mean a course or a qualification, and it's not just for work or a job. It's about mental health, it's about well-being, it's about all of the things that we've talked about today that I could go on and on to list. So learning is about much more. Jobs and careers are really important, but it's about much more than that. And then thirdly, learning can mean, whether that's, can mean going to a course in a college, it can mean doing a qualification, it can mean doing an apprenticeship at work, but it can also mean watching a YouTube video to work out how you use online conferencing, or how you fix something in your house, or whatever it happens to be. Lifelong learning is a really broad set of activities, and we should recognise the benefits that all of those bring, not just the courses and qualifications. And then the last thing, which is a sort of something I come away with every year, I think, which is to have a go. You know, it's a brave thing to get in the door, or to have a go, or to log on or whatever, but have a go, because it brings its own benefits, and you might not get it first time, or it might not be the thing for you, but you don't know till you've had a go. And there'll be lots of other people in exactly the same boat as you as well. So I hope that's kind of inspiration for all of us, to go and have a go at learning something new, and to support the many and varied ways in which adults learn as well. Last thank you from me is to the Learning and Work Institute team, who've spent an inordinate amount of time organising this over months and months and months, let alone today, to make sure everyone had seats and everyone ended up roughly in the right place at the right time, and organising a really brilliant event. And there's lots of Learning and Work staff here today who've all done a brilliant job, but although I can't see her anywhere, I want to say a specific thank you to Rasheen, who is, I think, hiding up there behind the computer. There you are. So she's done an immense amount of work to sort of coordinate and make today happen, and I'd like to also apologise for embarrassing her there as well. But so huge thanks to all of the Learning and Work team. Thanks to all of you for all the work that you do, the inspirational learning that you've done, for sharing your stories, and for being here today. Please go and enjoy a drink next door, apart from the winners. Please stay here for a minute, don't forget. But in the meantime, we look forward to seeing you next year. Thank you so much, and let's end with a round of applause for those brilliant winners.